Welcome to the Renegade Miner Show. We're going to be talking about things that are interesting and important to the renegade miner, the innovator, the pioneer who is out in the field using alternative energy sources, innovating new technology to make the mining industry better, and ways that they can optimize the Bitcoin output and help the Bitcoin network be a more powerful and more in line with what Satoshi believed it would become. All right, welcome to the Renegade Miner Show. My name is John Taylor from Blue Hawk Energy Solutions. We convert flared, stranded, undervalued gas and other energy sources into Bitcoin. We are out there making the calls, doing the deals, and connecting with people who have that alternative energy sources. Then we're figuring out ways that we can turn that into Bitcoin. Think of us as the bridge between the Bitcoin industry and the oil and gas industry. Two completely different industries. They speak different languages when doing deals, and we put those deals together. If you've been at some of the conferences lately, you have seen the Renegade Miner magazine. Everybody's talking about it. It's interesting, it's fun, it's something different, and it's going to be the official guide of the Midwest Bitcoin Summit. So if you would like to get your ad into this magazine, if you'd like to reach more Bitcoin miners and put your product into the hands of the people who are going to buy it, let's talk. Below there's a link where you can, here's a link to all the advertising options for the upcoming issue. And if you are part of the Midwest Bitcoin Summit, there is a special discount where you can get ads at the lowest price available. Let's take a look at what's right for you and get you into the hands of Bitcoin miners. In today's episode, I want to talk about what's going on in Texas with Governor Abbott. Site 33, one of our favorite sites in Texas, that is an alternative to what's going on with Governor Abbott. And of course, the Midwest Bitcoin Summit, which is coming up on September 23rd and 24th. So let's get started. There has been a Texas data center dust-up. Governor Abbott put a moratorium. He shut it down. No more data centers until we do an audit. There's some reasons why it happened, so let's dig into what's going on. Governor Abbott froze the entire Interconnect queue. So whether you're a 1 or 20 megawatt Bitcoin miner or you're a 200 gigawatt mega hyperscaler, your project has been put on pause. So on August 3rd, he directed PUCT and ERCOT to audit every data center project in the interconnection queue. So no project moves forward. There's no exceptions until the audit clears. So the trigger, the queue has hit 474 gigawatts. It's almost 500 gigawatts of requests. And that's 5 times the peak record demand of the state. And 90% of it is data centers. And that queue has doubled since January. So let me take a look. The audit is going to cover 5 categories per project, and they're subsidies received, tax incentives, grants and abatements, self-generation and grid dependence, water sourcing and cooling technology, which is a big one, the community impact and mitigation, and ownership control and structure. So the reason this has happened is because the Texas government has been asking data centers to submit this information so that they can better serve what's going on, understand what's happening in the data center market. And less than 10% of the data centers have submitted this information. And so now the governor is shutting it down. Right or wrong, they've been asking for the information. They're not getting it. And so now they have to take action. So here's a critical distinction. The interconnect is frozen. And so that touches any new ERCOT connection, including batch 0. So this is a grid interconnection freeze, not a power generation freeze. So if you are in queue, batch 0, if you are in queue anywhere in the ERCOT line, your project is now frozen. But if you're making your own electricity by using power generation equipment like reciprocating generators or turbines and powering that off of natural gas that comes from midstreams or wellhead gas, you are not subject to this queue. You can keep going, and that's the biggest difference. While already approved diversified footprints like TeraWolf, Riot, and Iron, they are not being shut down. Already tied operators are fine and even better off, but anyone still trying to make that interconnect is frozen and there's no completion date. The most important thing is everybody thinks that batch zero is kind of like the golden ticket to get into the queue and to get your project green lit. And ERCOT has paused all batch zero projects at this point. PUCT and ERCOT both told Abbott back in July that this lacks some statutory authority to regulate end users this way, and they asked for more legislature power. There is definitely going to be some courts involved in this decision. There is real legal vulnerability, and a denied developer has a ready-made argument for this challenge. So it's currently frozen, it's uncertain duration, and it's going to be contested. It's not permanently closed. So what does this mean for the Bitcoin miner who wants to get into Bitcoin mining? If you're using flared, stranded, undervalued gas, you have nothing to worry about because you're not grid tied. You're not subject to these regulations. You're not subject to the fluctuations and the ensuing power increase costs that are going to be taxed and burdened on these projects. Instead, you're your own power company. You are your own boss. You are in control of your destiny. If this is happening now, imagine what the landscape will be in 2, 3, and 5 years. Would you rather be grid tied and be subject to these regulations, these challenges, these problems that happen? Or would you like to take on the challenge of being your own power generation company? And hey, it's not easy. There are new challenges and new complexities that happen when you're using a reciprocating generator in the deserts of West Texas. But the red pill is that you can take Abbott's future and see what it holds for you, or the blue pill is that you can make your own. We happen to have a site, a 5 megawatt cluster, where it is 1,600 machines producing 68 Bitcoin a year. Your kilowatt per hour cost is 3.57 cents per kilowatt hour. And you're going to be making Bitcoin for around $25,000. When you're doing gas generated Bitcoin mining, your cost to produce a Bitcoin really gets locked into your initial CapEx and your deal that you have for your GPA, your gas purchase agreement. You can be assured that 2, 3, and 5 years down the road, you're going to be making Bitcoin right around that $25,000 mark. That's going to be very beneficial to your company and to your bottom line as Bitcoin continues to increase in value. Now, this is a cluster site, meaning it's not all in one location. It's over a number of different wells. There are a couple of things that make this more attractive than any grid tie, and there's a couple of things that make it even more attractive than a midstream. Number one, this wellhead gas is guaranteed at a fixed price, so there's no variation. Waha has a lot of negative pricing, and they're opening up a new pipeline later on this year and into 27. And there's going to be an outflow of gas going east. Once that happens, there's going to be price variations. There's going to be price challenges. In 2028, it's again going to constrain, and we're going to probably go back into negative. But with anything that is variable, it's an uncertain future. You can lock in your price at a little bit higher, ride it through for the 5 years, or you can ride the wave of Waha. They both have their pluses and their minuses. This is a fixed price throughout your term of 5 years. Wellhead gas is moody and it fluctuates, but we're going to guarantee that you have 1,600 MCF for the duration of your contract. So for 5 years, you're going to have a steady offtake of 5 megawatts of power for your Bitcoin mining. This is a fully managed site. So that means we're going to be there to do the generator maintenance, the OpEx, and keep that site up and running with a 90 to 95% uptime. If you'd like to learn more about this site and the other sites that we have available that are not subject to Governor Abbott's change in policies, we are proud sponsors of the Midwest Bitcoin Summit. And we're so excited to be a part of this on September 23rd and 24th in Columbus, Ohio. Now, Here's the important thing about the Midwest Bitcoin Summit. It's about Bitcoin and about the ethos, the essence, the ideology that has built Bitcoin. It's affordable to everyone. And it's also a great way to network. Columbus is an easy destination to get to from almost anywhere in the country. It's very centralized. There's inexpensive options for hotels, Airbnbs, and airfare. And there's going to be some amazing events at the Science Museum and other venues where you can network, connect, and be a part of the Bitcoin community. Now, Bitcoin is not killing it right now. It's not at an all-time high. It's in a bear market and things are rough. So we could all use an opportunity to connect and not have to break the bank doing it. The convention center is beautiful. The Science Museum, where the after party is going to be, is amazing. And Columbus is going to surprise you at how much fun it is down in their restaurant and bar district that is just filled with things to do, places to go, bars to hang out in, and places to eat. You're going to have an amazing time at Midwest Bitcoin Summit, and you're not going to want to miss the opportunity to network with who's who in the Bitcoin business. If you hit the like button and subscribe, it does wonders for our brand. It really gets us into the hands of other Bitcoiners, other Bitcoin miners, and people who are interested in the Bitcoin industry. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of Renegade Miner. Let's make it happen.